Brian, come to hear all of that.
I was just watching it and it blew my mind.
Talk to me about that.
I know what that. I understand hard times and I understand good times. And, you know, in life, they have to come. You're gonna have to deal with both of them because that's what life consists of: good times and bad.
He told me, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really, Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Like, you know, Floyd's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. You know, he had 50 fights and he said, yo, so don't tell me about you the greatest fighter with 50 and 0, nigga. You're great, no doubt about it, nigga. 50 and 0.
We were excited about you and Floyd. Is that still happening or is that?
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, it's happening. You think I give that up? I was minding my business. He challenged me.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing an extra large. It looks like I will wear large now.
Looking good, man. Still looking scary.
During a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, Mike Tyson didn't hold back at all. He went straight at Floyd Mayweather Jr. with the kind of blunt, unfiltered honesty only a former heavyweight champion can deliver.
Floyd, though.
Huh?
How do you feel about Floyd?
Awesome fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hit.
Tyson described Mayweather as arrogant, self-absorbed, and dangerously disconnected from reality, suggesting that the constant displays of cash and luxury feel more like a performance than real proof of stability.
Because Floyd, we've been friends since 2002. There was a point where I'm looking at things and I'm going, yo, we kind of got the wrong messaging point. Because we're saying we got all the money in the world, we're going to burn it, we're going to get it again. So what? When you say change it, he goes, nah, you do that, Fi. He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, what a prize fighter fight for? And I'm like, and he said, the prize. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him.
The arena have just shown Floyd Mayweather and they begin to boo immediately.
They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money.
I take 30 watches with me.
He argued that success inside the ring doesn't excuse a lack of humility outside it, and that endlessly flexing wealth can damage a legacy faster than any opponent ever could. When Tyson said Mayweather's behavior is hurting his image, the words landed like a punch, sharp, public, and impossible to ignore.
As much money as you'd think fighting
Floyd. Did you get paid from that?
He still owes me $1.5 million, maybe more.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or like the Middle East for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid me. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He fucking smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company paid him that money, is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment. I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think, he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million.
Yeah.
Sold for 6.6.
And when he said he'd knock Floyd out, it sounded less like a taunt and more like a gut punch of honesty. Not just a threat, but a reminder that respect is earned by how you carry yourself when the cameras are off. Fans reacted like someone fired a heavyweight cannon in a quiet library, stunned, loud, and instantly divided. Whether you agreed or disagreed, the message cut through the noise. Humility still matters, and unchecked ego can make even the greatest names look small. In the end, Tyson framed it like a finishing move, you can win fights, but still lose the story that follows, and the respect of the public.
Spends money like it's a tap. Money's just flowing. Even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made more money than any boxer ever. There's all these lawsuits. He hasn't been paying things. He owes money on this and owes money on that. And then he's got to come out of retirement.
It's just the lifestyle that Floyd lives. It's like he got to be lavish. So that he got $1 million in his backpack. He got the latest watch and the latest car.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, boy, that money goes quick. Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down.
That whole larger-than-life tension between Tyson and Mayweather, power versus precision, myth versus survival IQ, suddenly shifts when Wade Plemons starts laughing while breaking down the rumors about Floyd's finances. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on, the narrative just flipped from ring strategy to accountant talk real fast.
The third fight of the year for a Floyd Mayweather that is clearly going broke, and it's not just, and if you guys didn't see the video I did talking about Floyd coming back to fight Mike, this is not me sensationalizing. This is the truth. There is no speculation, but I told you guys, Floyd owes a lot of people a lot of money, and he don't have it. Logan Paul also discussed this, and this is probably the best screenshot I couldn't gotten on this video. My God, his ramen noodle hair is flying in the wind, and there's no wind in that place. But Logan dropped some knowledge that Floyd is still scamming him for their 2021 fight. We're going to go...
Wade opens up by saying he can barely get through the topic without laughing, then immediately points out Floyd lining up multiple fights in a single year, exhibitions, crossover opponents, even the Tyson spectacle itself. His tone basically says, guys, something here smells like emergency cash flow. Now, I'm not saying Floyd is broke, relax, internet. But when Wade brings up Logan Paul claiming he wasn't fully paid after their exhibition, that's the kind of rumor that sticks whether it's true or not.
He just sold this house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think, he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million. He custom built the house, by the way, in like 2006.
Yeah.
Started at 14, reduced to 12,
yeah.
10, 8 came on the market, and it was a lot of house for 8.
Yeah.
So for 6.6.
Oh, he really got
just
rinsed.
The cost to build that house was 9 or 10.
Whoa, he got rinsed.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
It was huge.
Goddamn.
Who would win in a fight?
And yeah, that's another piece of like what Floyd has done with his money after his fight.
And when Wade keeps circling back to Floyd scheduling fight after fight, even after saying he was done with boxing years ago, that's where the debate really heats up. Is it love of the game, or love of the pay-per-view invoice? Because Floyd absolutely mastered the art of selling himself. Wade even hints at that legacy, the entire Money Mayweather blueprint that turned boxing promotion into pure theater.
See people get upset at me on Twitter talking about, oh, watch your own pocket. You ain't ever made as much money as Floyd has. I know that, dude. I'm not saying that Floyd is as broke as one of the freaking tweakers on 6th Street Bridge in Los Angeles, dude. That's not what I'm saying. But for the amount of money that he has made, over $1.2 billion, and the amount of money that he still has, let's say it is $300 million. That means Floyd has lost 70% of the money he's earned.
But then the conversation drifts into spending habits, massive assets, jets, houses, businesses, and suddenly the question becomes less about greatness in the ring and more about sustainability outside it. And here's the ironic twist running through my head while Wade talks. Even critics who say Floyd is chasing paydays will still tune in the moment his name hits a fight poster. That's the gravitational pull of a legend. Wade might question the motives. Fans might debate the finances. Analysts might raise eyebrows. But the second Mayweather walks toward a ring again, curiosity wins the argument every time.
It owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from an individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the loan.
That entire Wade conversation about Floyd possibly chasing paydays already had the rumor mill spinning. But then DJ Vlad jumps into the discussion like a guy who just overheard gossip at a jewelry counter, and suddenly the story gets even wilder. Vlad says an old-school jeweler casually told him Mayweather is broke because he spends like crazy. And right there my brain pauses, because boxing has heard this story before.
I mean, listen, Mayweather never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Mayweather plane, like a Drake plane. I've never seen that. Not to say that he doesn't. I don't know Mayweather like that. I've never even met him. So I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of properties.
The legendary lifestyle narrative starts circulating, and suddenly everyone becomes a financial detective. Vlad even admits he doesn't know if it's true, which actually matters, because rumors about fighters' money travel faster than a Ryan Garcia left hook on Twitter. Still, when Vlad starts talking about private jets, endless spending, properties, diamonds, and that Money Mayweather image Floyd built for 2 decades, it's easy to see why people jump to conclusions.
Money you're constantly spending.
Right.
I don't know. He remember at one point he said he was buying like the jewelry district building.
Yeah, and they said
that
they
wasn't
said that
true.
was cap. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know this man's finance, but this guy told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the part about actually losing your money when you're on that level and you're, kind of like flossing.
The brand Floyd created was literally built on excess, stacks of cash, luxury, everything. The whole undefeated money machine persona. So if even a tiny crack appears, critics treat it like the dam just burst. But here's where I push back a little. While Vlad's story keeps circulating, Floyd has been selling spectacle longer than half the internet has even been watching boxing.
If you can sustain that, you don't ever have to box again. But now has to take fights because, when you floss like Mayweather, you can't go down.
Yeah.
You got to stay right there because people are going to beat any kind of chinks in your armor if you're not winning 3 or 4 big $1 million.
Some fans believe he needs money, while others argue it's simply Floyd continuing the business model he perfected. 2 completely different interpretations of the exact same behavior. Vlad even mentions the uncomfortable truth that when someone lives flashy, the world almost waits for the fall, and that's a brutal side of celebrity culture. But here's the funny contradiction. Even while people debate his finances, every time Floyd's name appears on a fight poster, everyone still clicks, watches, and argues about it.
Instance, Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, they fought too late in 2015 when they were 36 and 37 respectively, I think.
They're 47 and 48 now.
Yeah. So it is some would say a cynical land grab, a financial opportunity. But if people are prepared to pay it and Netflix are prepared to put it on and people want to watch it on their Netflix subscription and people want to subscribe to it, no harm, no foul.
Well, the thing is as well is that Netflix actually obviously clearly are starting to move into the sporting arena.
That whole DJ Vlad rumor spiral about spending habits and flashy lifestyles barely settles before Simon Jordan jumps in and shifts the conversation from gossip to cold business math. And honestly, the contrast is fascinating. Simon basically shrugs at the idea of a Mayweather vs Manny Pacquiao rematch and says there's barely any real sporting intrigue left, which sounds harsh until you remember people were already saying the first fight came late back in 2015.
The Netflix of the world showing product, whether we think it's a good product or not, whether we think watching 2 50-year-old men, nigh on 50-year-old men, having a dance that was 10 years too late when they were in their prime and is now 20 years too late.
But our view is irrelevant, isn't it? Because the data obviously says it's going to be successful. Obviously, they wouldn't be doing it.
Well, Netflix are not doing it for the good of sport. Exactly. They're doing it because they've got 300 million subscribers and they can keep those subscribers by adding content in there and they can get new ones. And it's a business model. It works. The boxers get more money out of it. What I'd like to see is the ecosystem getting more money out of these sort of things.
Simon quietly points out an uncomfortable truth. Elite boxing, crossover boxing, and full-blown spectacle boxing now exist on the same menu. You've got the serious fights, the half-serious grudge matches, and then these nostalgia mega events that operate more like blockbuster movies than championship bouts. When Simon says our opinion about the matchup being too late doesn't really matter, that line hits hard because he's brutally right. If millions of people tune in, the debate about sporting purity loses to raw viewership numbers every single time. And while part of me agrees that the competitive edge faded years ago, another part laughs, because boxing fans will complain for weeks and still press play the moment those 2 legends walk toward the ring again.
This unbeaten record and the professional status of the bout add any intrigue to this at all?
No. Not really. I don't think so. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's had a fight recently, hasn't he, against Mario Barris, who's just lost his title to Ryan Garcia, deservedly so. And that was a draw in which most people saw Pacquiao at the end of his career, saw what was left of him, and were not too happy that he...
Now I'm curious where you stand on this whole situation. Is this just smart business in the modern entertainment era of boxing, or are we watching legends risk their legacy for spectacle? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's really talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Bushavolt. I'll see you in the next one.